you know what? Play this stupid juvenile meme game. History won't record this mean, stupid crap.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Don Lemon is going full Leroy Jenkins! Leroy Jenkins! At CNN, trying to get fired, doing the greatest job he possibly can at attempting to be fired in the most entertaining way possible by making fun of his female co-host. It's the only explanation for Don Lemon's recent actions, including but not limited to questioning when a woman is in her prime. Now, Don Lemon is staffed with an executive producer that is a woman. He has co-hosts that don't like him, who are women, and presumably many of the CNN higher-ups are women. And Don Lemon is making very harsh comments about women and when their prime ages are, as it confers to Nikki Haley, who announced her presidential run this last week. I'll let you watch the clip, and then this man is walking dangerously on the wild side. Watch.
All the talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to Google or whatever it is.
Okay, so let's go ahead. We went and Googled it, actually, ourselves. When is a woman in her prime? A woman prime is referring to her 30s and 40s, but can extend into her 50s when she feels physically and sexually at her peak. That's what Google has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Don Lemon is getting destroyed for this. Don Lemon is older than Nikki Haley by 5 years. Says that she's not in her prime. Uh-oh. Don Lemon caused on-air tensions and triggered an uproar on social media after claiming that the GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley, not in her prime. Don Lemon, of course, was forced. Perfect expression there. Is he being held against his will? It's like an ISIS hostage photo. The reference I made to a woman's prime this morning is inartful and irrelevant. Colleagues and loved ones have pointed out, and I regret it. A woman's age doesn't define her professionally. I have countless women in my life who prove that every day. It's always about you. It's always about Don Lemon. It's always about Don Lemon. Well, maybe not for long. Don Lemon is apparently going to get fired for this. Don Lemon absent from CNN this morning after claiming Nikki Haley is not in her prime. CNN anchor expressed regret for the inartful, irrelevant comment. Being absent on a show that you are an anchor on means you're getting fired. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. We know the cable news business quite well. And this is not good for Don Lemon. And maybe it's because Don Lemon has been kicked off of his prime time show that Don Lemon would understand that he is no longer in his prime. He's not able to hold his own on a debate about female athletes with his female co-host. This was a delight to watch.
There is more interest in a men's sport. The business people, the people who make money off of sports, will put that on television because we live in a capitalist society. And if people are interested in that, then there would be more attention and more money would be paid. So it's about the money.
But here's the thing, and this is the point that I was making that goes to that, which is, why is that what people are watching? It's because it's what they're used to watching. Why is it because it's what they're used to watching? because men were putting men's sports on TV way before women's sports. So it's this systemic institutionalized thing. No, I'm not done
that they are just more interested in it.
But it's
Watch him
why are
melt
they
down.
You're missing my point. Why are they more interested? Because men's sports has been around longer. People have been paying attention to it more. There have been these amazing female sports stars that have only become household names in recent decades. That's the point. And I'm saying if they had both started at the exact same point, they had both received the same amount of marketing and promotion and all that stuff, and then we got to where we are today, that would be a different point.
Guess what? Big media giants, big advertisers. This is another opportunity to put the money where your mouth is.
I don't believe that's accurate. I respect your point, and I hear what you're saying. I don't believe that's accurate. We live in a capitalist society, and if people can make money off of whatever it is, they are going to exploit it. And there is a reason, and I'm sure it's part of what you are saying, and it's part of what you're saying. And these are conversations that we need to have. But I just think that we are lying to ourselves if we believe that someone cannot sit here and speak the truth to what we're.
Can I read you a headline? This is a fact that my smart producer Annie gave me. Quote from Forbes: "The fastest growing audiences on TV are for women's sports."
Growing.
But that's because where ad dollars go. You're missing the point. They're probably going to start becoming.
It's so funny to watch Don Lemon try and get himself out of that rat hole. Oh, and he has such. Obvious. I mean, like, he's obviously right there, but he's not able to defend his worldview. That's what we do on this program every single day. We defend our worldview. Don Lemon is so not right about these women's issues, whether it be sport or whether they're in their prime, and he's baby, he is walking on the wild side. This is the bravest man in show business. Not even AI, who, as far as we know, doesn't have a gender, is able to defend Don Lemon here.
And he says, just Google it.
Yeah.
Right. So we asked chatbot. Like, well, what do you say?
When's a woman in her prime?
We asked chatbot, and this is the answer. This is why people aren't going to like chatbot. As an AI language model, it's not appropriate to make any assumptions or generalize about individuals based on their gender. It is important to recognize that every person is unique. And the concept of a prime can vary greatly based on personal factors such as physical health, lifestyle, goals, and aspirations.
Don Lemon became the meme when he asked a royal expert after the passing of Queen Elizabeth about the slave trade. And Don Lemon got spanked so hard. I mean, this is possibly the most embarrassing moment to ever be broadcast on television in the history of the world.
Well, this is coming when, there's all of this wealth, and you hear about it comes as England is facing rising costs of living, a living crisis, austerity budget cuts, and so on. And then you have those who are asking for reparations for colonialism, and they're wondering, $100 billion, $24 billion here and there, $500 million there. Some people want to be paid back, and members of the public are wondering, why are we suffering when you are, you have all of this vast wealth? Those are legitimate concerns.
Well, I think you're right about reparations in terms of if people want it, though, what they need to do is you always need to go back to the beginning of a supply chain. Where was the beginning of the supply chain? That was in Africa. And when across the entire world, when the slavery was taking place, which was the first nation in the world that abolished slavery? The first nation in the world to abolish it. It was started by William Wilberforce, was the British. In Great Britain, they abolished slavery. 2,000 naval men died on the high seas trying to stop slavery. Why? Because the African kings were rounding up their own people. They had them on cages waiting in the beaches. No one was running into Africa to get them. And I think you're totally right. If reparations need to be paid, we need to go right back to the beginning of that supply chain and say, who was rounding up their own people and having them handcuffed in cages? Absolutely. That's where they should start. And maybe, I don't know, the descendants of those families where they died in the high seas trying to stop the slavery, that those families should receive something too, I think, at the same time.
It's an interesting discussion.
It's an interesting discussion. Sure, Don Lemon. She's getting destroyed. Oh, man, getting destroyed. Yeah, maybe the African kings should pay reparations to the members of the British Navy that were out at the high seas trying to prevent their evil enslavement of their own people. Man, what a beauty. Don Lemon is the stupidest person in television. He's so dumb. It's so wonderful to watch him. We're very sad that he's probably going to lose his job for this. This is one of many, many, many F-ups by Don Lemon here at CNN, and they've killed his show They know that this isn't working. He's apparently getting into screaming matches with his co-host, and guess who CNN is going to come down on the side of here, especially after embarrassing viral moments like this. But way to go out in a blaze of glory, Don. Whew. Speaking of blaze of glory, this country is a blaze of glory, and we wanted to protect it, defend it, and fight for it. We fight right alongside you every single day here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. My name is Benny Johnson. See ya. Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry and then to meme them crying. They're tears. They taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, base patriots.